Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Welcome to the GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Sarah, and I have no idea why I'm saying podcast today, but
I kind of like it. It gives a little zing to it.
Podcast?
Oh, God, don't ever do that again.
Oh, we're sorry. We've hosted too long. You know how like married people start looking alike?
Wow.
Podcast hosts start saying things at the same time.
Wow, I'd never want to do that ever again in life.
Oh, I thought you liked me. Okay, it's okay. At any rate, we talked last episode about some health tips for summer, which got us to thinking. One of those was to, get outside, be more active. So we started talking about things that we like to do outside to be more active. And Tate has come up with his very own top 10 list.
It's not necessarily, I actually came up with 12 things. And the reason why I came up with 12 things is I was doing research and I was looking for other articles that were talking about things to do over the summer to burn calories and to get in shape. And some of these lists were bizarre. One was like role-playing, cosplaying outside. How many people are going to go and do that? Not realistic. One was like fidgeting.
Don't be, if you're a role player, do not be offended. We are not getting on
get
role
your
players.
Role playing on. I'm just saying that most people aren't going to be role playing out in the park.
Yes.
It's going to be a very small percentage of people that's going to be like, you know what we got to do this weekend? Role play.
Although, you're going to burn a lot of calories because those outfits have got to be hot.
Exactly. So I didn't like any of them. And also one list was like fidgeting and that you can burn 300 calories by fidgeting throughout the day. And I just threw that list away.
If you're a natural fidgeter, that's good news for you. But
yes.
I'm not going to try to create a fidgeting habit.
If you're fidgeting to the point that you're losing weight, you need to see someone.
Or write a book.
Is that like shaking to the oldies or whatever, shake weight?
Lord.
Okay.
Sweating to the oldies and shake weight. You just combined them.
Sometimes fusion
shake weight into the oldies.
Fusion is the thing. It's what's in now. So I'm fusing those together.
You've now created fusion exercises.
Yes.
Okay. Look for Tate's book next summer.
Yeah.
Not really.
Those 2 copies will be right out. Okay, so I came up with 12 things that
So you lied to me when I created this episode and named it top 10 exercises.
Yes. Well, I can get rid of you know what? I'll get down to 10. Don't even worry about it.
Well, all right.
Okay. So, the first one is hike.
I love hiking.
Hiking, it's summertime. It's really nice out.
Go
ahead. What was you going to say?
I was going to say, it's really nice out, but if it's hotter than snot where you live and you have any kind of place to go get elevation, hiking is going to be cooler.
Yeah, not only that, there's nothing better than getting up early in the morning and going for getting together with a group of friends or a group and going hiking for like an early morning hike or a late afternoon hike. You get out, you have the entire middle of your day, but being able to get out, you burn a lot of calories. You get to see a lot of really cool things. You get to, get a little closer to nature. Hiking is one of my favorite things, especially in California here, where there are literally thousands of trails that lead to thousands of other waterfalls and things. So that is a big one, hiking.
Mm-hmm. I grew up in Montana. There's so many beautiful places to hike.
Okay. And keep track of my numbers here because we're going to make it 10.
That was one.
The next one is kayaking. Now, growing up in Ohio, kayaking wasn't as popular, but now living in California, if you live near a river, kayaking can be a phenomenal exercise. It gets you out. You get to see nature. You get to be in the water. If it gets a little warm, you can jump in and cool off a little bit, but you're burning a lot of calories, and it doesn't even feel like you're working out at all. The last thing you're thinking about is burning calories. You're just there taking in the scenery and having fun. And if you got a group of friends that like to kayak, then you can literally exercise for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours and not even think about it. Now, Sarah, your dad hikes. Not hikes, but kayaks.
He hikes as well. But so I was just going to bring this up, actually. My dad and my mom's sister, so my aunt and my dad, but they're not siblings, have recently started hiking or kayaking and bike riding together. Now, my dad they bought their kayaks a couple of years ago. So my dad is in his mid-70s. My aunt is in her mid-60s, and they just bought their first kayaks, and they love it. Maybe they don't go crazy and it's not like the world's most intense workout, but they are getting out. They are staying active. It's amazing. I've only been kayaking once, and that was in a sea kayak. And it's something that I need to try again.
It's pretty cool. I would definitely, it's one of those things where it's really fun, especially here in Northern California where we have a lot of lakes and rivers. One of the things, people will kayak down the river, and there's other people that has little party barges, and they do little squirt gun wars and everything. It is a blast.
I have a friend who might be the least active person I've ever met, but she loves to kayak. She loves the water. So, that's the way she gets her activity in.
Yes. I mean, it's because it's so many people that I know that will not exercise at all, but they will go kayaking. I mean, they will go kayaking religiously, but if you told them to diet or to exercise or to lift a weight, it would be like, no way. But you say, want to go kayaking? Absolutely. Let's do this.
Yep. So activity comes in different forms. Maybe not the greatest for your lower body, but your upper body is going to get a great workout.
Exactly. Well, and if you're a big kayaker, let's roll into the next one.
Number 3. Because
you're working in with great for your upper body, not so great for the lower body. While you're kayaking, my number 3 is go swimming. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows swimming is a blast. It's great for your entire body, great for your legs, great for your lungs. It works your shoulders, your arm. It helps you clear your head. It is literally one of the most perfect exercises. Whether you're old, young, with joint issues, people who have lost limbs, they can swim. It's just an enjoyable thing to do. Burns a lot of burns a lot of calories, burns a lot of fat. You can do it with your friends while hanging out at the pool or at the lake. It is the perfect exercise as well.
Quick side note: I love swimming. I'm not a great swimmer, but I like swimming, and I love swimming in the lake at my family's 4th of July reunion. But as soon as I get in the water, I am starving. I have no idea what's up with that. But as soon as I get into the water, it's like my stomach I haven't eaten in months.
That's because there's a little valve on your hip that spills all the food out of you into the pool.
That's gross.
Yeah, that would be kind of gross.
Then everyone would have to leave the pool and they'd have to clean it out. So and I'd be the one that hip valved in the pool.
That's the reason why, if you're swimming, bring snacks.
Absolutely.
Bring healthy snacks.
And swimming, again, back to sunscreen. All of these really back to sunscreen. Make sure that you are wearing sunscreen. And if you're swimming, reapply that sunscreen. My hometown pool actually had a great thing where they have a rest period every hour. So you swim from like 1 o'clock to 1:50, and then they make everyone get out of the pool for 10 minutes.
I think there should be a machine at all pools and beaches where it's just like a car wash.
It just sprays you down with sunscreen.
You just walk through and it just sprays you with sunscreen. You just dive back in the water.
I like it. Although you are supposed to give yourself a couple of minutes before you get back in the water. But
no, that's like the car wash. They had a little air blower, just blow it on you and just right off. So soon when the light turns green, you just dive into the pool and just go.
Wow. You know what? I think that on that note, we should take a break. And we should come back with your number 4. Do you want to tease your number 4 or just make people wait in anticipation?
I think I'll wait.
Okay. So stay tuned. You're listening to the GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. And when we come back, we'll be talking about tip number 4, exercise number 4 from Tate.
Still on the search of that one true love? On the limbo in this crazy world of dating, marriage, relationships? Well, listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Relationship Podcast, your one-stop podcast for everything about relationships.
Welcome back to the GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. Before the break, we were talking about swimming, except we got off topic and we were talking about sunscreen. But initially we were talking about
car wash.
Swimming, which was our number 3. Tate, what is your number 4 exercise for the summer?
Number 4 is running. I know a lot of people don't like running.
Many people hate running.
Yes, but getting up in the morning and going for a nice run to start your day is fantastic. Going for a run in the late afternoon is fantastic. I don't recommend running in the middle of the day just because of the fact that you're at the peak of the heat and you could and dehydration and getting sunburn is one of those issues.
Yes.
Now, and this is kind of how I decided to combine a couple of them of my list. If you're not a person that's into running, take a nice stroll, a nice little walk in the morning, a little walk in the afternoon. If you have some trails, it's a great way to get some casual exercise in, and can really get you fit. If you're trying to get fit and maybe you're not in the best of shape, start out by taking a walk. Start out with maybe a half a mile, then go to a mile. Next thing you know, you're doing 5 miles. Next thing you know, after that, you're running. And for the people who already run, if you're trying to increase the intensity, and you know of a place that has a bunch of stairs, go for a run, but end it at a stadium or somewhere that has a lot of stairs, and run stairs on top of that.
Or do trail running.
Yes, or trail running. Ways to increase and make your run even tougher. So running, it can be for anyone. It can be for grandma who has a walker and just, she's just taking a casual stroll, to Susie, the triathlete who's running up hills, running upstairs, and walking or running, they can be at any intensity level. It's your intensity level. So I think it's the perfect one.
2 comments on that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have dogs, taking them for a walk is an excellent way to, especially if you have dogs that have to have a walk in order to do their business. They are a great reason to exercise. My dogs just go in the backyard, so I don't have to take them for walks, but they love it. They love walks.
I'm going to tell you this. One of the things that you can have some people that have the most healthy habits in life, but have the most unhealthy pets. And that's because their pets need the same activities that you do. And by going for a walk or a run and taking your pet with you also helps them out and keeps them healthy as well.
Mm-hmm. And then my other comment can I remember my other comment? Oh, yes. I recently saw an article that said a minimum of 2 hours in nature can really boost your mental health, your physical health, your kind of overall well-being. So walking would be a great way to get your 2 hours a week in nature, especially if you've got, like where we live, there are trails everywhere. And they're not like hiking trails. They're walking trails, walking or biking trails. But they're still through some really beautiful natural areas. So that's a way to get out in nature and soak up some vitamin D and just relax a little bit.
Yeah, and I agree. And when you talk about getting out in nature and how it's good for your mental health, when you think about this list, you're saying hiking, outdoor, kayaking, outdoor, swimming, outdoor, running, outdoor. And then our next one, we're going to move on to our next one. What number 5? Is it? Number 5 is rock climbing. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be you're scaling, Mount Everest. It can be simple fun while there's a lot of cliffs and things where you're at, if there are. It's a great way to build strength. It's a great way to get outdoors. There's a lot of rock climbing groups. There's rock climbing facilities that you can go to where you climb walls and the makeshift rock climbing. All of those are really great ways to get in shape, get outdoors, and get active.
Now, this one is kind of the opposite of walking, in which pretty much everyone can do some version of walking. I mean, not 100% of everyone, but rock climbing, you need to be aware of safety issues, I would say. Don't just go try to climb some random cliff that, you've never gone rock climbing before, and I'm just going to go climb this. No equipment, no nothing.
Yeah,
you may want to do
all of these you have to be smart about.
Well, yes. Let's be smart with our summer workouts. Smart in terms of safety, smart in terms of sunscreen, smart in terms of hydration. Have you ever been rock climbing, Tate?
Actually, I have. I've been rock climbing and cliff diving, which is,
I guess once you do the rock climbing, you can do the cliff diving.
Actually, yes, this is true. I went. This is some years ago with my fraternity brothers, and we climbed up a cliff. There was this cliff. You climb up, and then you had to dive off the cliff, which was a 50-foot cliff, into a pool of water. And so then you have to go back and do it again.
Again, be safe. Don't dive into water you don't know how deep it is.
Yes. Also,
unlike Debbie Downer over here, but come on, safety first, people.
And you're right. And before you start any activity, you should go and get a physical and check with your doctor and let your doctor know what you're doing.
Right, especially if it's something that you've not done before. Like if you're just going to go out and walk for a while, you should still maybe talk to your doctor. But if you've decided that you're going to run a marathon or
jump off a cliff
or do any of those things, yeah. Wow.
Sarah's afraid of heights, so that is a touchy one for Sarah.
As a kid, we did rappelling with some friends of ours, and I did rappel, but it was a very, very short little rappel.
You brought up the rappelling. I've done the cliff diving, I've done rock climbing, and I've skydived. Rappelling was one of the scariest things I've ever done.
Wow.
I don't know why. Totally shook me up. I guess it's because when you go, you have that hand behind your back, which is kind of like your brake hand, and you're facing the opposite direction, and so you can't see where you're going.
Right.
And so that was actually way more stressful for me than jumping off of a 50 or 60-foot cliff.
Wow. I was a kid, and I don't remember being too scared because, like I said, it was a very short cliff. It was just with some friends of ours who, I don't even know why they had climbing equipment necessarily, but we were hanging out with them, and so their dad took me and my siblings and his kids, and we went and rappelled off a little tiny hill near their house. So that's my only experience of rappelling. I haven't specifically done rock climbing. I've done a few, obstacle type course things like at camps that I've been to in various phases of my life. My hands sweat, my heart pounds. I'm not great with heights.
Wow. I understand.
You do. No, you don't. But you humor me.
I have seen you in your situation where you are a very well put together person and you put you in a situation where heights are involved and you fall apart. I hate to say that, but it's true.
And yet
she gets very hurt. She has that look, her eyes are just all bugged out and she is just freaking out.
And yet I want to go, I want someday to, this is ridiculous. I want someday to, skydive.
Are you serious?
I don't know if I have this desire to skydive, but I don't know if I could actually do it. I would have to do it tandem. Either I would have to do it tandem or somebody would have to physically shove me out of the plane because that's the part I wouldn't be able to do.
Well, and I told you my skydiving experience where I went and it was static line. So you had to jump out, you had to climb out on the wing and then fall backwards.
Yeah, see, no.
Yes. So that's the time when I went skydiving, I actually had to climb out on the wing and then fall backwards. And that was definitely scary. But rappelling was scarier to me.
Wow. Okay. On that note, my palms are sweating, so we're going to take another break. And when we come back, we will be talking about number 6 on Tate's list. Stay tuned. You're listening to the GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast, and we'll be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to the GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. We are talking about Tate's top 10 exercises to do this summer or to try this summer or to try really whenever you want to. We're not here to tell you when to do things.
I say do it this weekend.
All of them. All 10. Okay. What's number 6?
Number 6 is geocaching.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Geocaching. It kind of combines walking, hiking, a little rock climbing. You can do geocaching anywhere. Just go to a geocaching site and literally you find a geocaching site and there are little places all over the world in the woods, at buildings, in your neighborhood. You'll be surprised if you pull up a geocaching site. I bet you there's a geocaching site somewhere within 5 minutes of your house. Less than that. Matter of fact, at my old house, my neighbor's mailbox was actually a geocaching spot. And so you go around.
That's crazy.
You go around and you find these spots and they have little things in there and you get those and you can leave things behind for other people. And you should learn the rules of it. But geocaching is fun. It really gets you out. And this is something that you can do year round, but if you're a person that want to get active, you could do geocaching at your own pace. You can run, you can skip, you can walk, you can crawl, whatever way you want to do it, but geocaching gets you out there. And if geocaching isn't your thing, there is always still, it's kind of outdated now, but Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go kind of gets you out there as well. It's just about being active and getting out and enjoying the sun and enjoying the fresh air.
Mm-hmm. I have only been once and it was a complete failure, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. What's number 7?
Number 7, I'm going to take you away from the hiking outdoor situation, and I'm going to tell you this is one of my favorite things. Go dancing.
Oh, yeah.
First off, For the guys out there, guys, you need to learn how to dance. If you're married, take your wife dancing. Take some dancing lessons. It's a blast. It's a great way to burn a lot of calories and get out and enjoy people and get around. They have different places have, concerts in the park or to, dance places to, just a club. But dancing is fun. One of the things I like to do is take dance lessons. I've taken from salsa to merengue, ballroom dancing. All of it's fun. Find what you like. And the great thing about dancing is everyone has their favorite form of music. If you're a country dancer, go to a country line dancing class. Let's say you're a hip-hop dancer, love hip-hop, then go to a class that teaches hip-hop dancing. Or, what's kind of new, we're talking about fusion, the country hip-hop songs that are out. Combine the two. But it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to get out, meet people, especially if you're single. And if you're married, puts a little spice in the relationship. And I highly recommend it.
If you are single, there's almost always more women at places like this. So you're not going to lack for dance partners.
That is the truth. I love dancing, all kind of dancing. I've been to from hip hop clubs to salsa clubs to country bars, and I've never had a problem finding a person to dance with.
All right, that was 7. What's number 8?
Number 8, cleaning. And I know that sounds funny, but in the summertime, this is when you're going to have a lot of guests coming over, things like that. This is the time to go through and just go from top to bottom and just get rid of a lot of the clutter, clean your house, get it organized. And the reason why I say cleaning, because when your house is neat and organized, it helps you mentally as well. So as your house is organized and clean and you're having friends over and you feel good about having friends over, it improves your overall mood, which then makes you want to do more things. So cleaning may not be one of the more popular things, but let's say if you have an attic that hasn't been cleaned since 72, or you have a cluttered garage, it's warm out. Now's the time to get rid of all that stuff and maybe have a garage sale and get rid of excess clutter.
Thank you, Marie Kondo.
You're welcome.
All right, number 8.
No, that was number 9.
Oh, number 9. See, I can't count. Number 9.
Because number 1 was hiking, number 2 was kayaking, number 3 was swimming, 4 was running, 5 was rock climbing, 6 is geocaching, 7 is go dancing, 8, clean your house.
Okie dokie. All right. So what is 9?
Number 9 is if you don't want to run or you don't want to go for a walk, grab some friends and go bike riding. Bike riding is so fun. You can go off-road or you can go ride through the streets. It doesn't matter where you're at, what city you're in. You can go bike riding. So if you want, if you're a nature person, you want to go on the trails and hiking trails, you can ride a bike there. If you just want to go, if you're living in San Francisco and you want to tour around the city, grab a bike. Matter of fact, there's places that you can rent bikes very cheaply.
You can rent a bike. If you're in San Francisco, you can rent a bike and ride across the Golden Gate Bridge.
Exactly. It's a great way to get out and see things. It's also fun to do it with a group. A lot of people tend to bike by themselves, but I say grab your significant other or your best friend or a group of your friends and go for a ride. Nothing will spice up your day better than a nice, fun ride with friends.
Can I tell you a really bad dad joke?
Hit me.
Okay, so you know that hippos kill a lot of people, right? The hippos are faster on land than you can run.
Yes.
Hippos are faster in the water than you can swim.
Yes.
So really the only way you can beat a hippo at a triathlon is during the biking phase.
I like it. I actually knew that one, but I
told you that the other day.
Yes, you did. The story, the moral of the story is just stay away from hippos.
Yeah, no, they are dangerous.
Yes. And my number 1, and this is my
number
favorite.
10.
Right, but it's number 10, but it's my number 1 thing to do in the summer. Something that I love that very few people think about. Go horseback riding. Sounds crazy, but
it's good for your core.
There's a lot. Go online, look up riding stables. There's a lot of places around the country that you can rent a horse, and they'll take you on hiking trails, and you can go ride horses. Doing that that's a perfect thing to do on a date. Pick someone up. Go on a hike. Go on a horseback ride. Maybe take a picnic lunch with you. You get to see nature. You get to be close to a beautiful animal. You get the sun, the fresh air. It's quite one of the best things to do. It's just amazing to go ride horseback riding.
Okay.
And even if you've never gone horseback riding, a lot of the riding stables will give you lessons, and it doesn't take you long before you learn.
Okay, so you get out in nature and you enjoy it. I'm asking to be devil's advocate. The horse is getting exercise, but you're just sitting there.
This is true, but you are wrong. When you ride a horse, you do get some exercise in there.
I was being devil's advocate. You didn't need to tell me I was wrong.
No, it's just a misconception. It's a great statement, and a question is because when you're riding a horse, there's points that you're squatting, there's parts that you're sitting down, there's parts that you're holding your hips together. It's a great lower body exercise as a whole.
Yeah, I would imagine it's good for your core as well.
And the first time I went riding, I got off and my hips were sore for like 3 days. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things once you get comfortable, you loosen up. But riding a horse can be a great exercise as well. But it's an amazing way to get out and enjoy the summer and the sunshine and fresh air.
All right. So there you have it. That's Tate's top 10 summer exercises. What would you add to this list? What's your favorite thing to do in the summer? What's your favorite activity to do really year round? We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. Join us next time and we will talk to you again later.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Health and Wellness Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.